stood up here and been called Uncle Whitey. But this is the first time I've been called Father Whitey. As Mr. Gamble mentioned earlier, sometimes we become spoiled by our success or the success that we've had in the past. As some of our coaches have mentioned, we haven't been as successful as far as our state playoffs and our records have been in the past. I don't think success can always be measured in your win and loss column either. I know as far as our basketball team this year, no team has ever worked this hard, been more determined, put in more extra time in the summer. We went this summer to play in West Monroe, Bastrop, Phelps, it's 95, 99 degrees in those gyms. So I couldn't have asked for any more determination or any kids that worked any harder this year, even though our district record or playoff record may not reflect it. We had the misfortune of running into Grambling again in the playoffs, like we have 5 out of the last 6 years, and as you know, if you know anything about basketball, it's not a very easy task beating those ladies or gentlemen over there. So they knocked us out of the playoffs, but I'm very proud of our team, and I don't think I could be any prouder of them. Members of our team, if you will stand as I call your name, seniors, Brad, Jay, and Josh. Would just hold the applause until I get them all standing up. Juniors, Curtis Adams, Jason Hurley, Ryan Lamb, and Roosevelt Turner. Sophomores, Glenn Harper, Trey McIntosh, Marty French, and Joel Sankey. Freshmen, Caleb Ross, Kyle Nix, Brandon Brown. And 2 guys that are very instrumental, as all coaches will tell you, and that is the managers, and my managers were Brad Hill and Charlie Pearson. You give them a hand now. I have 4 jackets that I would like to present with, well, I don't believe Curtis made it, but Marty French, Glenn Harper, and Brad Hill. Come forward and receive your jacket, please. Josh was, as Mr. Campbell said, a composite All-State, 4-point, twice Class A All-State, All-District for 3 years, All-Northeast, Louisiana. He averaged 20 points per game, 14 rebounds and 3 blocks. And not only that, this guy showed a lot of stamina because he was under a great deal of stress during the basketball season with the recruiting, and none of us have ever been through, I don't see anybody that's been through anything. The pressure has been put on this young man, and I'm proud of him. More ways than one. Our team defensive award could also be determined, be called the most determined, because he probably was the most determined or most He was also a composite All-State, All-District twice. He was our team leader in steals, and he was a main playmaker. He went through a great deal of adversity. We went to West Monroe to play in the summer league this summer. In the first game, right out of the bat, he pulled a muscle, hurt himself, and he limped around all summer while the rest of us were trying to play. And if you know him, he's a competitor and doesn't like to watch. When he got to rolling pretty good in the season, we thought we were doing real good. We done went out to help and put a whipping on them, and our chest was swelling, and then we got hit by the flu bug, and I don't think he ever got over it. This is Brad Nix. Our team offensive award is a repeat from last year. He is a caddy, and he likes to put the ball up. He didn't shoot the ball as well this year from the outside as he did last year, so as a consequence, he just took it inside, and even though he's not a real skywalker, he could take the ball inside and score against people a lot bigger and a lot more athletic. He too was a composite all-state 4.0 student, and I think these three, and as you know, I'm speaking to Jay Kelly, I haven't mentioned his name, Jay and Brad and Josh, all three composite 4-point students, and we just don't see this very often. Jay Kelly, would you come forward? This was to my most improved. He was our third leading scorer and second leading rebounder, second in steals, and he's a junior, and he'll be asked to step forward and take a more prominent role next year along with several more, and this is Curtis Adams. I'll bet Curtis can make it tonight. Thank you.
First thing I'd like is for Jason Hurley to stand up. I want to tell you, it takes a strong-willed human being not to get embarrassed when his date's got more food on her dress than she had on her head. Don't tell us what this boy can accomplish with a will like this. Didn't mean any offense, I was just bragging on Jason. I got an apology to make for something I said last year. Every once in a while you get up there and get nervous and you say something that offends someone from time to time. Well, I made the comment last year, if you remember, Courtney had a beautiful yellow dress. And I made the comment that her hair matched her dress. Well, she was somewhat offended by that, but I see. I tell you, that's something that reminds you of your own joke before you get to the punchline. And the teeth match the hair in the dress. Thank you, Courtney. But I see this year she wore one that matched Molly's teeth, so everything. We have a special guest in the audience, and that's Coach Steve Davis from LSU, and if we could, I'd like to get him up here for a couple of minutes. Coach, it's an honor to couple of jokes I was going to tell on a couple of people, but I've already been warned that he gets the microphone after me, so I'm not going to do that. And y'all know Courtney. I'm not telling jokes from Courtney. But it's an honor to be here. Congratulations, all you award winners, and all you young people. Congratulations to you. I don't think you're going to realize for several years down the road how fortunate you are to be part of a high school and a community that you are a part of. It's a great honor because whether you realize it or not, you're learning things that's going to make you successful the rest of your life. You don't take a high school that's as successful as this one is. That's not an accident. You've got great parents, you've got a great community, and consider yourself fortunate to be a part of it. As I give speeches a lot of times, a lot of parents and principals get mad at me. I tell parents that academics is not the most important thing. And people go, uh-oh. What I say is, be a well-rounded person. Be as good as you can be academically. You know, we as recruiters, and I can't say anything about where I work. That's pretty breaking rules I'm not going to. But we as recruiters look for a person that's a good athlete, but we don't want just a dumb job. We want good academics, we want good people, good athletes, we want good students, and we want good people. And this class tonight certainly represents that. And again, congratulations to you young people, and congratulations parents and community. You've got a great thing going. Thank you, Coach. I'd like for all of my tracksters to stand, please. That's throwers, runners, and catchers. Okay, I'm not going to introduce these guys because nobody cares if your family and they know who you are. So let's get to this out. I was real proud of the way the guys competed this time. We had more speed coming back from last year than we've ever had. And for one reason or another, this one had to do that one had to do that. We ended up having to overhaul our relay teams, and they showed real well. We got a couple of thirds and a second, and I was very pleased with the way they competed. We got real close at region to qualifying several guys for state. It so happened this year that we were the only region in Class A that you had to be one of the first two in the region to qualify for state. The other four regions, the first three qualified, and as a result, that cost us qualification on about 6 other athletes, which was kind of disappointing. But we had one young man who won the region in the quarter and went to state and competed. That's Curtis Adams, and let's give him a long distance hand because he got an area forward. I'd like to apologize to my tracksters who received letters. They didn't get in yet, and I will get those to you when they come in unless I forget. I'd like to recognize my coaching staff. We have a unique staff. This is the deal where I can just be quiet in your own mind right now. I'm doing a heck of a job just letting your mind run. But in introducing them, we have Coach Lee and Coach Harry. Y'all stand up, please. Somebody might know y'all. Just low profile. Coach Barry and Uncle Papa Whitey. I don't know what we're going to call him next year. Let's give these guys a real big hand. We had a young man that come in here to help us this time that, to be honest with you, didn't know a crapping thing about football. But I tell you what he did. He was real handy at, let's see. I'm just kidding. Coach Harris tried to absorb as much as he could, which was precious little. But he was always right there with us and real handy on fixing you wouldn't believe the amount of things that need attention during the course of the day before getting out on the field. And you can't ever find Coach Harris or Coach Berry, but even though Coach Steve didn't know what's going on, he's in there grabbing something to try to fix something and get ready to go to practice. So I really appreciate him coming in as a newcomer. Let's do it again. Speaking of coaching, I'm reminded of a little story. Won't take but a minute if you'll bear with me. I know you're getting tired. But everyone knows how much Coach Harris loves to eat. And those of you that know Coach Lee, he has a degree in his personality that would tend you to think that, see how I put this, that he can come across pretty clean on anything, whether it's knowledge, physical activity, cooking, mountain climbing, anything along that line. Coach Lee kind of got a beat on. Well, the deal come up about their wives and how they could cook. Well, of course, Coach Harris, my wife, can certainly cook. Do this, do that, do this. Look at me. And of course, that wasn't good enough for Coach Lee. Obviously, he had to throw in there a little stronger. So finally, Coach Lee convinced Coach Harris that he needed to come over to his house and eat clam. That Karen made a fantastic clam dish. Of course, if the truth known, Coach Harris don't know what a clam is. Scott got a beef going here, so he rushes over to Karen. Look, got something tonight. Want to have clam. I got to deal with Coach Harris. Well, she jacks him right upside the head. She said, "What do you mean? You didn't give me any notice. I only got 12." And Coach said, "Well, how did you get caught short? You know, I got this thing going." She said, "Well, if you promise me you'll only eat 4, then we'll be all right. As long as we don't run out and get in there." So right on there, she made the dish, made a long story short. They sitting there eating supper. Coach Lee forgets what he had told him. So in just a short time, the clams are gone. So Scott, trying to signify in his way, "Coach Harris, do you want some more clams?" Well, he looked over at Karen, she gritted her teeth, being polite. Coach Harris said, "No, I wouldn't care for anything." A couple minutes walked on, Coach said, "Oh, Coach Harris, come on, you're supposed to be such a good year. Don't you want another serving of clams?" And of course, Miss Scott Lee was sitting her, gritting her teeth, and her eyebrows getting down in here. Now, this goes on about 4 times, and every time, Coach Harris, "I really don't think I want any more clams." So, you know, supper's over, they make it, good and everything. Coach Harris would leave. As soon as they get out the door, Karen says, "Scott, why in the world did you keep asking Coach Harris if he wants more clams?" She said, "Well, I was just trying to be polite and want to make sure he got one." And she said, "Well, did you feel me kicking you every time you said that?" And he said, "You didn't kick me." I'd like to take a quick thanks for everybody that helped us do things during the season. The list is unlimited. We thank you every year, so just remember what we said the last few years. I'd like for Coach Lee and Coach Harris to wrestle up these letter jackets around to this corner. And I'd like for George Sanchez, Wesley Tullus, Cassidy Riley, Tori Anderson, Jermaine Hill. If you don't believe me fast enough, we never will beat anybody. Let's go. Brandon Putman, Nick Barnett, Brandon Riley, Trey Owen, Clay Clarkson, Joe Muirhead, Trey McIntosh, and Al Sanders. The names on the next. This is our letterman for this year. Let's give him a hand, please.
Go eat and run, Harper. That's Jerry Harper leaving early, folks.
We gotta go get our grandbaby. 4 hours with her. Huh?
Coach Harris just informed me that I pronounced Coach Lee's wife's name wrong. It's Carolyn, not Karen. He's having a jerky spell, so y'all act like it's a big deal. Well, I made a mistake. Coach Harris, King Swallow had town, he's gonna laugh when I made a mistake. I'd like for the following young men to come forward, and this is the guys who made All-State, both in the sports writers poll, and this is a certificate from the LHSA sent by Charles Baglio that represents the coaches All-State team. And Richie Allen, Matt Thornberry, Robbie Dowler, Sean Whiteside, and John Bradley done forward. Joe looks more like them guys that collect money for them loan guys, don't they? Breaking legs and stuff. Also, Josh was he made it both ways on both associations, and he also was the MVP on defense, so he got a half pocket full of stuff here.
Really?
Don't want to say I know you've been here a long time and you get kind of bored, but that reminded me of another story. We have faculty meetings at school from time to time, and Mr. Gamble does an exceptional job of putting these things together, and there's nothing more rewarding after a crisp day at school with youngsters than to go to a high-energy faculty meeting with Mr. Gamble. Well, we had one scheduled there one day, and this is during football season. And Coach Berry's outside, Miss Lee's going to get him a drink of water, and looks up. Here comes Coach Lee down the hall. He looks bad. So he staggers up there, and Coach Berry says, "God, what is the matter with you? You look bad." He said, "Man, these games, talking about these football all the time, I can't get any sleep. I can't never sleep. It's like a cure." And John said, "Well, just talk to me, I have just a cure." The faculty meeting. Hey, you don't have to be scared of that. You ain't going nowhere. You just got to line it. Mercy. I've seen him do this filters like that, but make the audience sit there, nobody laughs. He's going to get up and whoop somebody. Now let's get on to the things that are supposed to be here for the reports. These first two young men I'd like to talk about as a tandem probably give us the best pass rush from the outside that we've had. They both have real good quickness as far as getting off the ball and to get up the field in a hurry. And the evidence by this was the efforts that we had against St. Joseph and Banquet. Supposedly two of the high-powered passing attacks around, and these two youngsters kept these guys running all night. And that first two senior award will go to Gabriel Sullivan and Rodney Berry. Come on, here, please. The next senior award goes to a young man who come in our program later on in life. He didn't actually grow up with us, but he spent a couple of years with us. And at the beginning of last season, see if I can get a picture. He come in there, he never got torqued up too much. It didn't matter if it was raining or pretty sunshine, he just kind of went on about his business. Didn't give us enough signs of, hey, I'm ready to play football. So we rocked on there, and he continued to learn and get better, and was kind of on the shelf there for a while. We didn't realize exactly what was going on with it. Well, it come to a point late in the season where we had to move him into a starting position. The guy moved in there and graded superbly. He did a super job for us, and I'm real proud of the other award to go to Trail. This next young man, when I think about his career, well, I could mention he had some bad luck at different times and did this and did that, injuries and whatnot. But when this young man's going, I think back over the years, and that's what old coaches do. They look back over their different teams and compare the different type of athletes they had and the relationships they had with different ones. And when I think about this guy, I'm going to think about two things. I'm going to think about the hit he made in the scrimmage against Colorado, and I'm going to think about the hit he made against West Washington on that little guy on the sideline. So the head runner award goes to Stephen Reed. We started this next award last year. It was a new award. It was to the big hard work habits in the weight room and the intensity of play, and that was the Golden Tiger Award. And the young man that's getting it this time, we've had our ins and outs. We've been as close as I guess you could get at times, and then we've been crossed up at other times. But I was terribly pleased with this play last fall, and I've been even more pleased with his work habits since then and what he's trying to do this spring. The Golden Tiger Award goes to Brian Jennings. And if I hear anything about a dog, I'm going to slap the crap out of it. That's true discipline. I don't think this is quiver. He's going to say something so bad. You sure of that? This next award was invented this year. We do that from time to time if we got something we want to bring up. You know, you got your traditional thing, but you got a statement you want to make or not an award for it, you just make it up because that's your practice. Well, that's what we did this time. We talked a lot. We really pride ourselves here at Oak Grove on our offensive line. It's a big deal with us for what they can do. And we got this deal about whether you're a hog or not. Of course, I don't want to see you ladies. Nothing derogatory here. It's just kind of a precious thing to be a hog. And last year, Trent Allen come in behind a class of linemen there that were setting precedents and probably will set precedents for us from now on. And it was a real big deal to be called a hog. And one day, just, you know how you'll say something you really didn't know how it's going to turn out. And I made the statement something about, well, you're not really a hog, you're just a baby hog. Well, something as precious as being a hog and then putting baby in front of it, you see how that didn't happen pretty bad. But I can honestly say that Trent Allen has now become a full-fledged hog. No pun intended. His blocking skills this fall increased and got better and better. And out there this spring, he's just going to continue the legacy of what we expect in a way above average lineman comparatively across the state in any class. And we call it, this is the Newcomer Hog Award. On a little more serious note, we had a fan that we lost last year that was one of the most precious fans to our program that we've ever had, and that was Big Mike Newsom. I know he was a friend to all you guys, and he was a special friend to me, and there's no one that loved these kids more than he did. I don't think he wouldn't say bad things about them. He'd say bad things about the players every once in a while, and he'd say terrible things about me. But he wasn't bad about letting other people do it. But this was a precious man to our program, and we wanted to do something that is kind of associated with what he meant to us. And obviously, the award would have to have some correlation with the weight room, because about 90% of the stuff in there he built. And it also would have to be intensity of play, because he was one that really enjoyed intensity of play. One of his big deals was just run up the middle, which is a precious phrase of ours. We can enjoy that. Last few years we scattered a little bit running other places, but one of our most precious places to run is right up the middle. And I remember one time he went and scattered a game for me with Mike and a couple more guys and watched Greenville. That's the year Greenville had A-Bad and Courtney and all that stuff. He come back and said, "Coach, ain't nothing to it. All you got to do is run up the middle, and you can beat them to death." Yeah, that's because he wouldn't have to run up the middle. They signed about 4 guys that year on scholarships, and he ended up beating us about 3 touchdowns. But at any point, he had enough confidence in our guys, and couldn't nobody stop us. And we really love his memory, and the Mike Newsom Memorial Award will go to Chad Hickman. This next guy was a joy to work with. He spent a lot of extra time in the weight room like you'd think, and we do a lot of extra work on the sprints like you'd think. Wasn't much to look at. But all of his teammates always had nice things to say about it. I can't remember a practice go by that there wasn't accolades made toward him that were so positive and so refreshing that they just brought a joy to the practice field. Now we said this may not be the strongest guy, it may not be the fastest guy, but this guy would stick his nose in there as long and as regular as anybody we've ever had play the game here at Oak Grove. And anything you ask him to do, he'd cock that old head back and try to do it. Probably most noted for his breakaway speed, the most dependable guy out of him. We've been real fortunate to have some super fans over the years, and one that we've honored over the years has been Neil's daddy, Mr. Gordon Smith. And we try to give this award to a guy each year that's got a real wholesome attitude and puts the team ahead of, whatever else he's got on his mind. And this particular guy, if there's such a thing as over-trying, this guy fits the bill. Because he graded himself so hard, he even graded himself harder than I would grade. And kept himself tied up to a degree at times. So we had to develop a relationship there where we just kind of settle and try to do the job without everything having to be just perfect. We had aspirations of being in another position, but it was a situation where we had to have him at another place to satisfy the needs of the system we were trying to do. And he stomped and kicked like a jazz zombie at first. I'm not going to tell you, he said, "Yes, I'm ready," because he didn't. And he just raised all kind of cane. So finally, it was affecting what he was trying to do. So I finally said, "So look, you're going to be there. Have a good time." I mean, time is fleeting by. And something about our little conversation kind of went well. And he kicked in there and started progressing and did a super job for us at the quarterback position, which is something he hated worse than red beans and rice. So, Brad Nix will get the Gordon Smith Award. Okay, this next situation is one that's one of the best trouble spots, I guess you could say, that a coach could possibly get into. When it comes down to picking the best offensive lineman, we're in a situation here where we had two guys back 4 years ago that we threw into the fire as very young men. Young men with a lot of potential, mind you, but still very young men. They had some real good experiences there right off the bat. We could tell they were going to be super guys. Little instances about helmets flying off and such as that, and slobber and all that stuff that you like about a lineman. And it's just no way that we can separate these two from the things they've accomplished. These two guys have a bigger reputation than Daniel Boone does. Anybody, any class that we play, any place I go and meet with coaches, they know Matt Ritchie. Matt Ritchie. It's not Thornton, Barry, and Allen. What about that Matt Ritchie? When they going to graduate? When they going to graduate? And the word Matt Ritchie keep ringing. You go out there to practice and you want to draw somebody up. Matt Ritchie. You want to start a drill. Matt Ritchie. Well, Matt Ritchie's going to probably ring around here for a number of years to come, and the legacy of what they've accomplished and the things that these other youngsters coming up are going to try to do to better that. They have set us a heck of a precedent as far as what we expect out of offensive linemen, and it's going to be really nice to see if some of these younger guys can ever get in there at that level. So we have co-best offensive lineman, Matt Fortenberry and Richie Allen. Some lose 2,000 between them can bench press about 760 pounds. That's all those ladies their girlfriends. Sometimes I think that's up. This next young man really come on into his own this time. It's a joy to watch him play. When he makes a big hit, first thing you see coming up out of that pile is feet. Got that big old smile. Throw him in and they will want to do that jerky jump, which I really don't like, but he's enjoying the game. He flies around there and makes big hits. It was even a question at the beginning of the fall when we were going to have him. He had some a lot of work he had to do to get himself in a position where he could perform. And he planned to work around the clock in the summer to do this. And we were so pleased that he was able to be with us, and we were real pleased with his production and watching the joy he gets out of playing the game. He played 2 tech for us, was all-state and the best defensive lineman, Sean Whiteside. But if he could play good either. I'm proud of this next youngster in a couple of different ways. As a coach, I told him when he was a lad of a boy that he probably wouldn't ever play for me. And I told his father that. I said, son, you little, you slow, and you work. And, you know, there's nothing personal. I love you to death, but I don't see you ever making a trip unless you overhaul yourself. And as a father, I'm proud that he was able to play on a team like he did. This group of kids was super. I think the end of the season this time, we've always coaches talked about how our season ended and what it meant to us and what it didn't. This was probably the most painful situation that I've ever been in. These guys have been so successful up through their tenure, and then toward the end like that, we started shaky and then gathered ourselves up and started playing some heck of a football. And these guys are just real easy to like. And it's going to be a heck of a deal when they move on, and it was just a joy for me as a father for my son to be a part of that. I remember when I played for my dad, I don't think he ever said anything to me positive outwardly until my final football banquet. And he got on a little tire there, and something about him looked kind of screwy. Well, I know what it is now. It's a deal there, and I don't know how to explain it, but it's a screwy deal. And I'm super proud of what he did with his body. He wanted to be an athlete. He spent the time it took to get himself where he could perform and could be a help to the ball club. He ended up with 1,945 yards, and he played probably under as much duress as any athlete you ever had. That's one of the joys of being a smaller athlete is people like to hit you. When you look like guys from Matt Wick and some little guys, a lot of times they don't like to hit you, but catch a little running back now, he couldn't tear him a new one, So there can't be nothing to this guy. So old Ron figured out that he had these killers up there in front of him, and he developed a technique of putting that face mask right behind that belt, and then put it out from behind there right after the explosion, and go on before you know what's happened. And it worked real well for us. We had a super job out of our people creating holes, and Ron did a good job of using his quickness to pick up yards, and it was a joy for me to watch the whole thing unfold as a father and as a coach. Best defensive back right now. I love to see situations where young men start off not being sure of themselves and then end up getting clear-eyed and becoming real efficient and having a good self-image. After all, as coaches, what our main deal is, we're trying to create some habits that will make good citizens one of these days, and teaching them to make plans and to keep going when things get a little rough. That all pays off later on in life. And this youngster, not so much this year, but his junior year, beat himself in the head more than he did anybody else. But every time something didn't go a little bit right, he popped himself in the head. And we said, look, don't do that. You know, I was scared he was going to pop an eardrum or something. But he was so in tune to trying to do the right thing that it just really got off with him in a hurry because he was trying so hard. And he come on that last year, his junior year, and did a super job for us, making plays. And this year, he was just as solid as he could be. I mean, you couldn't run over him, you couldn't trick him, you couldn't throw the ball over him, and he may look weird. You may catch it behind that head, or he may pin it to that butt pad or something, but he don't go and catch it when it comes out there. So the best defensive back certainly goes to Paul Pop. Josh, you go stand up here, please. Just relax. Year after year, the first statement I make in NBC is that he's the guy that we can least afford his loot. But just right off the top for us this time, Josh was the centerpiece of our defense, the one who ran around on defense. He was a key blocker in the things we were trying to do moving the football. We averaged about 390 yards on the ground per game, so blocking was a key thing in what we were trying to accomplish. He run back punts for us. He snapped for punts for us. He called a flipper from time to time. And he's the only guy I've ever seen field a punt 10 feet off the ground. We got a rule where there's people around the ball, stay away from him. Well, these guys are running around there and the ball takes a bounce about high that line. Well, I'm thinking, get away, get away, get away. And I see the crane come sweeping across, snatch out of there, go over everybody's head and turn over their feet. I said, son, we don't field the ball in a crowd. He said, it wasn't a crowd where I was. And you were right. You seen them Japan movies with the dinosaur? That's what it is. Those guys run down there with you all team. So our MVP will go to Josh Bradley. While he's up here before he sits down, I got a couple little odds and ends. He made first team high school All-American on both magazines, Super Prep and Street and Smith. He also won the National Football Foundation and College Hall of Fame North Louisiana Chapter Scholar Athlete Award, which is centered out of Shreveport, Louisiana. So let's give him a big hand for these also. Well, man, I need it. About all I got. Enjoy it. Coaches, anything, sir? Don't start doing anything, so y'all have excuse me? See, he's tricking me, trying to make me look bad because I told him that deal a while ago. Brad, would you come up there and dismiss us for the benediction, please?
Come by, thank you for this day, many blessings to serve. Dear, thank you for many wonderful experiences we've had over this day. Dear, be with all those who need your care and this work day. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.